Hey, and thirsty Thursday because I'm empty.
You're empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I actually. It's all gone. All that coffee's gone.
You do?
What we do on Thursdays is the guests show up and they have tools that they use either in the real world, the physical world, or they have online tools. And we explore them. For the most part, I and probably most of the people, in the session have never heard of them. And yet they perform some ridiculously useful function that make, your life better. So today we're going to start with Mr. Video and Mr. Video Equipment, John. And John's going to talk about a couple of his favorite, fairly low-cost ways to achieve
Really low cost
things on video.
Yeah.
What do you got, John?
Hey, so I was thinking about this morning, Dean, and I said, one of the most common questions people ask me is, or say to me is, I need a ring light, and I don't know what ring light to get. And I don't want to go overboard because I don't know if you've seen some of these ring lights, but they're like 10 times the size of my head. They're usually these big, huge things. And they don't have to be. They actually can be quite small. And so one thing that I recommend quite frequently to people who are looking for a tripod, a ring light, why not have both if you can get away with it, right? So, and I actually like this because it works better in many ways on a tripod because it's got a gooseneck.
Right. So it'll fit on whatever table or desk
you can pretty much put it on any table or desk. Does it cause you a problem in some instances? Yes, because sometimes you're trying to set your camera down on a rock and there's no place to clip onto a rock or a certain table, middle of a table, something like that. So the other thing that I love about this is if you have a small battery, you can power it on a small battery, like one of those little USB batteries. And you can completely change the power output of the light. Now, of course, I didn't plug it in to show that.
Sorry, go back. So that term confused me for a second until I realized what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So when you say USB battery, you mean like the little batteries, rechargeable ones, like power packs that people use to charge their phone when it goes dead and they're still out, doing stuff for the day.
Correct. And I use a lot of the stuff when I'm out on the road, when I'm RVing, I'm camping, etc. And so I have tons of these little power packs that I carry in my pockets. And it works great to just plug this in. But anyways, I can change the output of this. I can change the position of the light, which is super important. It kind of drives me nuts with the ring lights that you can't move the light around. But I mean, it's as easy as just bending it to where you want it to go. So this is one of my favorite toys. And the phone, as you can see, I can move it all around. And it just clamps in. It uses like one of those selfie stick clamps. So this is one of my big tools I use. And its younger brother I'm going to show you next.
Younger brother.
Because it's a little less involved, but it's same gooseneck. It's got the same clamp.
So this one doesn't have the light, but
doesn't have the light. But the thing that I do like about it is it's got this clamp.
It's got the padding so it doesn't hurt your phone.
Right. And sometimes these are easier to clip your phone into one-handed. So I've got all of these little things and I use them all for different purposes.
Okay.
So that is my tip of the day.
Right on.
I do have a link for this if you want me to pop it.
Let's put it in the chat. You should be able to put stuff in the chat, right?
No, I can put it in the private chat for you.
Private chat.
What's the point of having a co-host if they can't like post
it? Won't let me do anything. I know, it's crazy.
Well, we've had our little issues.
Well, I've never been a co-host, so I'll assume you're like,
I might as well be nothing.
Yeah. Hey, do you want the unboxing video, John?
Hey, there you go. Now you got a totally different one.
The big ass ring lights. I still have to do that one. But, all right. Do you have the link in there?
I guess not.
I'm getting it. Yes.
I see it. Oh, no, that's LinkedIn. Oh, that's to help Dean get to 150.
Let's get to 150 so we can do these streams on LinkedIn on a company page, which has all kinds of different benefits. So everyone can
more features. Yeah, before we went live.
Link to what John just talked about.
Yeah, that's for this one with the ring light, because I think
Right.
that's gonna be the.
What about you, Dr. V? What do you got
What
today?
is this?
Well, I'm thinking if we add a bottle opener to John's ring light, we'd have $1 million idea. So
Sure.
I think
when
we
your
might-
live streams aren't going so well,
Right.
when everything just seems to be going
when
wrong.
everything
anyway.
falls apart.
Or if your live streaming or video series is about, let's say, beers or colas of the world,
True.
you would have it right there. It says like, hold on, guys.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
maybe your live stream just needs a little general
This one's
livening up.
from
You know what I'm
Bohemia.
saying?
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that ring
Yeah.
That's right.
light. So
Alrighty then.
all right. So speaking of light, so this is a tool that is, I mean, it's expanding and changing all the time, but it really is a portion of the platform. So let me do the screen share thingy and make sure I get to the right Chrome tab because I don't want to show you all my horrible tabs that I have. I have at least
No, it is
14
disturbing
open,
that
probably.
when people have 7,500 tabs open.
Oh no, I only have 14 today, so this is good.
Wow, light day.
It's
Wow.
a light day.
Definitely a light day.
It's what used to be called Facebook Business Suite. Now it's Meta. And so,
Right.
but the thing about it is that, you know, you may use things like Hootsuite and you may use, what is it, Later and a whole bunch of different types of apps that are out there for social posting.
Mm.
But John and I have found over the years is that it's almost always better to use the native app to do your posting
Yes.
because they seem to smile upon you. You know,
Sure.
like Zook will think that Zook's going to think you're not a crook if you're using his resident app.
The meta gods.
The meta gods, yeah, in the metaverse. And so I have taken to actually, well, John and I do use some social posting tools, but for some of my I say, you know, more premium agency clients, I actually do everything within Meta, within the business manager. And the reason for that are several. Like, so when you're creating posts, for example, the one thing that I find really intriguing is that you can, of course, do Instagram simultaneously with your Facebook page.
Mm.
Now, and if you start typing something in here, you know, as if you're going to be doing, happy June peeps. Well, it's gonna show you stuff that you're not going to be able to do anything on Instagram because you have not selected a photo. That's one of the things that, yeah. So you have to immediately go in here. Come here, baby. Select a photo, and then come in here. Now they've changed the interface as of this week. I saw it at the end of last week because before it would just said add image. Now they've got video, template, and photo. So I got a little confused. So adding the photo, you can upload from your desktop or your file manager and then start putting things in here. And for example, you will find that you now can have your hashtags that are saved. I don't have any saved ones in here. I'll show one of there's a good friend of mine. I'll show his page, one of the many pages that are in here. So this is Nelson, Yucca Valley. So the intriguing thing about this is that, you know, if you put in something here, I add a photo. Is there something in my file manager? No, of course not. I have nothing in there. All right. I typically will upload something. So let's say that I upload a photo. I'm just going to make it random, whatever I've got in here. Boom, 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 boom. Authority amplifier. RV goodness, which is pretty funny because this is going to be the cover for John's new podcast. Actually, I'll be co-hosting with him, but and it takes forever, of course, when you're on Zoom or Restream or anything else to load up an image. So this is John. This is my favorite. This was created in Canva, so it's still one of my favorites, and it went through an evolution too. But so if I was going to post this, okay, on Nelson's page, Yucca Valley Family Chiropractic, I could put in here something like keep your back happy while on the road. Okay, this is totally off the cuff, nothing in here. But I do have, and I could use something like the hashtags will pop up, which is hilarious to me. They seem to be using more and more machine learning, and they'll remember your hashtags too. So if I type in RV, it'll start bringing up suggestions like RVing. Okay, 12,000 there. Okay, but I've saved hashtags here. And these are like my frequently used ones. So I have like chiropractor, Yucca Valley, something else, but I only put 3 in here on a regular basis. So I'll add these 3 and then I'm ready to post, but I don't dare post because this is not going to go well for Nelson and his fan base. I mean, they might because he's out in the desert here in California, and I bet there are a lot of RVers there with him. So now some of the things that I like too are there's a whole bunch of new stuff in here. The notifications I tend not to do. There's the posts and the stories, and you can see a whole record of all the things that you've posted recently. They're in here, and anything that's scheduled. I have nothing scheduled for him today, but I'm going to do a few things for him. And you can create stories and you can create posts. Okay, creating stories is a fairly recent addition in here. There are very few stories that I've done for him. I think, there's nothing in there right now, but you can look at the feed, which is kind of cool to see what they're doing, both in terms of, this is the habits one that went up yesterday. And this is his feed right in here. I put in the laughing one. So I've created some of these for him specifically. And so you can see all the posts that are coming up through here. And that's for different folks. I think I sent the wrong one. Oh, I deleted this one. I put this in the wrong group and I deleted it. So, but it went to somebody else. And then finally, when you start getting into analytics and insights, this is really interesting. Now we do social posting. Just show me later. He has a very small page, but it can be fairly active. In fact, his Instagram reach is increasing while Facebook is decreasing. And you can see each individual post and how they're doing. You can check out some of the analytics, and you really don't get all of this stuff if you're using other tools out there, like a Hootsuite or something else like that. And so I really kind of like this. I mean,
and it's all built in for free.
It's all built in for free in Business Manager, but they keep changing it. And because they keep changing it, it can get very frustrating. I'm going to stop the share. And my frustration with it is that, if you just want to post things in general, sometimes you can use Creator Studio and other times it's in Business Manager, and they're switching back and forth.
Right.
And so I will say that, if you really want to understand it better, it's important to stay up to date and to recognize that interface is going to change all the time. But as a free tool, if you're doing mostly Facebook and Instagram, it's the perfect place. And you can schedule far out in advance. And they'll give you the interesting thing I've seen lately. Well, I mean, it's been the last 6 months or so. That's lately to me in pandemic time. I would say what's interesting is that they'll show you the optimal times to post. If you're going to schedule something, it'll say, oh no, you need to do this because your audience is most active at 8 a.m. on Facebook Monday.
Right.
But on Instagram, it's going to be, 5 p.m. on Monday. So so they're analyzing it, and I have played with it. And I will tell you that usually I want to post like at 9 a.m. and maybe 2 p.m. or something like that. I'll come up with a schedule for a client. But when I've started using their recommendations, I have gotten a little bit of a bump in reach. So I mean, the machine learning and everything else and the analytics, it's all there for free. So it's pretty cool. So
okay,
that's my tool, is the current platform that is constantly evolving.
Well then, okay, here's my one tool for today.
Okay.
I had a couple, but I just want to go over one instead. First of all, have you heard of Etsy?
Indeed. I've sold on Etsy.
For the audience and anyone who hasn't, and what is Etsy? ETSY. What is Etsy?
ETSY is a platform where creators sell their wares.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what do you normally find on Etsy?
I mean, handmade items.
Yeah.
Typically crafts.
Right. Jewelry. Handmade jewelry, handmade woodwork type stuff.
Quilts.
We've sold Mexican
quilts
and ceramics,
sweaters, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Do you know what Gumroad is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me what Gumroad is,
John.
So Gumroad is a place where you can sell your products quite easily, your digital products.
Right, digital. Basically, it's Etsy for digital products.
You can sell physical,
and I don't mean
too.
software, although you can get a lot of different stuff on Gumroad. But Gumroad is Etsy, but it's for, let's say you make a, let me just do a quick search here. right? Let me discover.
I have a friend who sells T-shirts on Gumroad, by the way.
Where basically, like, you get to pick the design or what it says, and then they'll put it on it and ship it to you.
No, he actually sells his designs, his specific designs. Yeah.
So, like, for instance, if we want to look at like camera, you can pick various different PDFs. You can pick all kinds of stuff. If I want to look for a LUT, do you know what a LUT is? John knows what a LUT is.
I know what a Luddite is, but not a LUT.
What's a LUT?
I haven't heard a lot about a LUT.
Okay, a LUT is actually its abbreviation doesn't actually tell you very much. It just says it stands for lookup table. Here's what a LUT is. Oh, my dog has decided that Amazon's must be here. I guess I didn't even know the dog was here. That's how quiet he is. He's not a small dog. He's like 80 pounds. Okay, so a LUT or lookup table.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You get a camera, a video camera, or like a DSLR or something. There's a whole bunch of settings, right? White balance and f-stopping and all, right? So you can get a certain look. But in video editing software, your Premiere Pro, your Final Cut, your DaVinci, all the other ones, there's all these little sliders and stuff you can use to like make something brighter or darker or boost up the color green or whatever, right? Make it look like old time film, make it look black and white grainy, make it look whatever. So what you can do in a lot of those cases is once you've made all of these changes, or professionals and professional photographers and filmmakers, like they go in, they make all these changes in Lightroom, they go into Final Cut, whatever. And then once it's all done, you can export out all those settings into a file, either so that they can import it into another camera or they can sell it and you can buy and get the same look that they get without having to like dial everything in yourself. And if you ever screwed up, you just re-import. So it's basically just a configuration file. It's a bunch of it's an instruction set that tells your software what all the settings for white balance and color and green and saturation and hue, all that should be.
Right. Lightroom is another popular one that people are looking for lookup tables.
So that's a classic digital product. The other thing that Gumroad is really great for is if you want to test an idea, like I wonder if people actually care about subject X. I should make like a little booklet explaining how to do something for people who are interested in subject, or I should make a checklist.
Yeah.
Or I should make a little tiny course for it. You can make it and then put it up on Gumroad and then to promote it to your own audience and, on Facebook or whoever else you want to. But also people come here to discover this kind of stuff and buy it directly because it's a platform and not just a way to sell. So Gumroad is Etsy, but for people who have digital or like non-physical elements and things that they want to sell, that they want to make and sell. And you can, you can see here under the features, and don't be put off by how like simplistic it looks. Gumroad is a very sophisticated back-end platform. They handle all the payments for you, take like a tiny bit and all that kind of stuff. But, you can have a website there. You can have a little bit of a funnel kind of there. You can have memberships or a subscription community there. Right? They'll take care of all your taxes. You just give them what zip code you live in.
So funny. It's improved so much since I last looked
at it.
Oh,
yeah, it was. Even 2 years ago, it was far simpler.
The last time I looked at it is probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The other thing that I like about Gumroad is you can run pay what you want campaigns.
Yeah.
So if you've got something that you're kind of like, I've got this product I just created. It's a pilot for me. I'm not sure what people would be willing to pay for it. I think I'll put it up as a pay what you think it's worth.
Yeah.
With a minimum, I hope.
Yeah, surprisingly, most people put like a minimum of $5 or $1 or you'd be surprised at how low they go. But it's great that they do that.
Right. And then you can see this is pretty typical for all these kind of sites. You can start off paying them nothing and that they only get paid if you sell something.
Yeah.
And then as you like earn more, the way Gumroad does is as your sales go up, the amount that they take goes down. And understand it's never going to go below 2.9% because that's what Stripe and PayPal and everyone else is charging them to process the credit card payment.
Yep.
So, and they put a premium on top of it.
And they do send traffic your way. So, exactly.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard to go around with. Anybody else that's similar, like a Udemy or Skillshare, they take way more than 9%.
Right.
If I'm walking on a road and I've got gum on my shoe, I'm usually annoyed, though.
And
now, there's one other, and I'm only going to bring this up. I'm not going to go into all of its features and stuff, but if
Okay.
you've heard of System.io.
No.
So we
Not me.
talked a while back about different funnel sites. ClickFunnels is sort of the granddaddy of all those. There's
Mm-hmm.
Drop Funnels, there's Groove Funnels, there's a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
System.io is another tool just like that, and it has a lot of features. You can send out your emails, you can do your host your website there, you can run evergreen webinars there. An evergreen webinar, in case anyone doesn't know, is a webinar that most likely at one point was delivered live, and then the recording is sort of put up. You register for the webinar and you get the recording. So
Well, and sometimes they do man it with a live chat, but that's rare
yes.
nowadays.
Here's the thing that makes create sales funnels, build your websites, do a course, whatever. What makes System interesting is the pricing. The only difference between the free tier and the most expensive tier is not a feature, because you get every feature on the free tier other than free migration. Basically, stuff that you want a human to perform a service for you. Obviously, they have to charge for that.
of course.
But everything else, literally everything else, is free. The only difference is how much of something you get. I mean, and I'll be honest, there are very, very few businesses in the United States that would ever need more than 3 sales funnels.
Right.
I mean, 3 sales funnels covers 99% of every business and every small business anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a 10-step funnel, I don't think I've ever created anything more than a 4-step funnel.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, I looked at it and said, why do I have 4 steps? That needs to be 3 steps. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can start on this tier for free and use the service.
Interesting.
And I can tell you that, like a lot of companies, they seem to host all of their stuff or have it all cached by one of the big caching companies like Cloudflare. So your page loads instantly.
Nice.
Fast.
So you can think of these as sort of similar, right? You can go to a platform, pay Gumroad a fee, and then great, right? And then you do get some discovery here, but you have very little control over the process. Like if we go into anything, like literally anything, and we click on something, I have no idea what this is and don't really care. Like this is it. Like this is the website page format. You get one page and then a checkout process that everyone uses. You have almost no control over the look and feel of this. But you're benefiting from the fact that it's a platform. There's other creators. It draws an audience. You can see it. Or if you want to promote on your own, buy ads, do it for free on social media or whatever, you can host here, have a multi-step process, make it look very much how you want, not exactly how you want necessarily.
Right.
But understand, when I say exactly how you want, like a professional web designer would not want to use this, because
Right.
it's very much it's almost like a Squarespace or a Wix kind of experience. Like
Mm-hmm.
drag this over and then like it populates and blah blah blah, and drag
Right.
this in and move them around to you like how it looks. But but it is what it is. You can't, like, if it's a field with 3 fields, if it's a form with 3 fields in it and you wanted 1,000 fields, you don't do that. Right, but it's all of the stuff you're ever likely to use is already pre-built. You just like drag it in, position it where you want. It automatically works. The code works. There's no conflicts in anything loading or whatever, and then it loads super fast once you click publish. So if you're looking for a way to sell your stuff, either have a blog, sell products, do email campaigns. What's some of the other stuff in here? Your courses, your webinars, whatever.
Right.
You can do it here for free, and you're getting everything that the most expensive plan gets you, just not as much of it in some cases.
That's really quite curious.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle to come into the market, because they're competing against companies, and they do, like, this is pretty normal, right? Like, really what you find for these pricing tiers, the difference in pricing tiers for these kind of sites that help you sell stuff more easily and take care of the steps for you, is how many websites you can have there, like how many custom domains you can have there.
Right. I know, like the ClickFunnels one for
Right.
$97 a month, you get 3 custom domains, and you can have 20 funnels, which is
Right.
kind of interesting.
So this one for $27 a month, which is probably what a lot of people would use, you get
Yeah.
3 different websites, 3 different domains.
There you go.
And this one
Yeah.
gives you 10, the $50
Mhm.
one, and then this one gives you an unlimited number of
It's
domains.
extraordinary. Yeah.
In fact, for $97 a month, that's a lot of unlimited. Like there's
But if
no
you want
limits on anything
it's a
there,
lot of unlimited.
right?
I
Unlimited
think
domains and webinars, have your own affiliate,
what was
unlimited like
interesting, yeah, I mean,
instant accounts. Check this
you
out.
could
Like
go to
you can have
town.
someone else help work on your stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and
You
give
could
them
go
an
to
account,
town.
and it doesn't cost anything, even on the free tier.
Yep.
I would say for an affiliate marketer, that $97 is like just a boon, because you could just put in, like, my gosh, you could put in hundreds of affiliate offers and have these drive traffic to the different sites.
So I wasn't going to show this, but having seen, you know, Gumroad, it made sense to point out the difference between the two, and the fact that I've never seen anything, even at a $27. The cheapest I've ever seen is a $49, and that's for one custom domain, not 10.
Yeah.
Or it's basically one website with one domain name. And
ClickFunnels had one that is the super ultra cheap one, which is a single funnel, and I think it's $19 or $19.99 a month. And that's if people are trying to escape and terminate their relationship.
I will tell you something else, by the way.
Yeah.
I signed up maybe a month ago for the free tier just to look at. I was helping someone, with one of their sales funnels.
Yeah.
And like, how do I do this? And I said, it's weird that you can't do that. And then it turns out it's pretty easy to do. It's just a different way of thinking about it, you know. But you come into here, and then they're constantly offering discounts on these prices.
Wow.
Via email. Once you sign up for the free account, they'll start emailing you coupons. Now, they want you to buy a year's worth, obviously, at a time. But I mean, a year's worth at $47 is like $580 something dollars, and they'll knock that down to like $300 or something.
Good God, it's amazing.
So yeah, it's very cheap to get started.
Excuse me.
Very cheap, and very cheap to upgrade because they'll keep sending you coupons to upgrade you. And actually, we're just looking at the monthly price, right? So
these are the annual. Yeah,
they're already giving you a big discount. Up
Sure.
to almost $600 if you do this, and then they'll knock this down to like $300.
Yeah. Wow,
which is what, $25 a month.
Yep.
Yeah. So take a look. It's called System.io. It's pronounced System, but it's a
System.
I think
System.
it's a French company, so it's like System. So there's an E at the end of system, but as long as you remember that, you're good to go.
Do you know what's so funny is I looked up the wrong one, and I didn't have access to the website because I didn't spell it correctly.
Of course.
But I mean, I'll put both of these in the like great services for very specific use cases.
Impressive.
Totally worth trying.
Very impressive.
Absolutely.
Will you be trying it, John?
Well, Gumroad, I know a lot about. I have some thoughts for things I want to do on Gumroad.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we're Inception time here
for the day, and that's it for the week.
Woohoo!
Are we going to get out of Inception, or?
Yeah, we're going to come out of Inception now.
I'm the 4th level of the dream state. Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. See everybody again on, I guess, Monday.
Yeah, I learned something. I'm smarter now.
Oh, by the way, I will tell the audience, since we have about a minute left.
Yeah.
There's always an after show that we never show.
It's hilarious.
Where Dr. V will pick something, and then I will like pick it apart and rant. He's not it's not something he made or does, but he was like, "What about this?" And I said, "Look, watch how, like, see what they did wrong here and what they could have fixed and how to fix it." And he wants us to start showing the after shows.
Oh yeah,
because the rants are.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's just that there's so much. Some things are just hilarious and incredibly insightful, and just a little off the wall. And I think that it's highly entertaining as well as informative.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how we would do that. I guess we would record it as in a separate thing. Or,
I don't know how we would.
It's almost like outtakes, like an entire 15 to 20 minutes of outtakes.
There's a show on HBO with Bill Maher. I forget what it's called. but that he does
Real
every
ti-
Friday. And he has guests
Real
and there's a
time.
monologue. Well, there's
Yeah.
like an entire after show after that
Oh,
they
yeah,
also
it's on
show
YouTube.
HBO.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah,
In
that's
fact,
basically what
you watch it on
you
HBO.
let your hair down a little bit, and you rant about stuff.
Yep.
It's like, why are they doing it that way? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff you wouldn't say to a regular audience, but you're okay to
Correct.
people willing to
You're
put
still
in
seeing it to a
put
regular
in the
audience.
fanatic fan level want to follow
The
you.
fanatics. Yeah.
Yeah, your 1,000 true fans, as Kevin Kelly would call them.
Yes, we
Yes.
need those ones. Who is the guy you're talking?
Kevin Kelly?
Vitale. Okay.
No, Kevin Kelly.
Kelly.
Well, Kevin Kelly. I thought it was Joe Vitale.
I
He
don't
has
know.
more than 1,000 true fans. So
Kevin Kelly.
all right.
That's it for us. Thanks everyone.
Hasta
No
lunes.
after show. We'll just like
No
maybe
after show yet.